Well, Charlie Adam joins us on the programme. I'm delighted that Charlie is with us. Charlie, we'd love you here in the studio. We are missing you, especially for our transfer fees. We like that ability that you have to rate a player, whether he's worth 10 million more than he should be. The boys are all missing you, but I think you've got bigger fish to fry, and we're hoping that you're going to become a manager one day.
Hi Peter. It's good to be back on the show. I miss the lads. It was a great time last year. Hopefully you invite me back up before the end of the season and we can get something back in. Going back on a personal note, yeah, obviously retirement came to me, and I had a decision to make. I've always known that I wanted to be in football as a coach, or a manager one day, and I'm on that first step really, working with Burnley in the under-23s and being the loans manager. So I've been given that opportunity, and hopefully, this is the first step to me eventually becoming a manager. Had no secret about it. I love being a football coach, and hopefully, the next few years we'll see where it takes us to.
Yeah, listen, we wish you every success here on the football show. Of course, your old team are looking for a new manager. Giovanni Van Bronckhorst sacked. What about the axe falling on him and the timing of it, Charlie? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think the board and Ross will have taken enough time. I think that's 9 days since the last game against St Mirren. There have been a lot of discussions with the owners and the manager, and obviously now we've seen some of the stories that are coming out in the last couple of days that what's been going on during the season, from last pre-season, which always happens. When when a club's not going too well in terms of on the pitch. You always get one or two that the stories will come out, but unfortunately for Giovanni, the axe will fall on him because he's the manager, and performances in the Champions League and being 9 points behind Celtic as a Rangers supporter and as the players, they won't be happy with that, and Rangers now are looking for the new manager, and it'll be interesting to see what way they go with it.
And with that in mind, Charlie, obviously there are a few runners and riders. A Burnley connection, and Sean Dyche has been quoted. Ralph Hasenhüttl is also in the mix, but another man, Michael Beale, has been quoted. He's only had 22 games in charge, Charlie, at Queen's Park Rangers. He's sampled Rangers under Steven Gerrard. Would he be the man that would excite the Rangers fans? Do you think he's got the calibre to do the job?
Well, he has the connections, in terms of being there before. He was instrumental in terms of stopping Celtic winning 10 in a row and being what Rangers were over the 3.5 year period with Steven. But now he's been able to go and stand on his own 2 feet at QPR. Turning the Wolves job down must have been difficult for him. But I think the lure of Rangers would be difficult for Michael to turn down. He's got a big connection with the owners and the board. He was at a game recently as well, and he's openly said that one day he would like to return as manager of Rangers. So he has that ambition, but it's now up to the board and to Ross to finally make the decision to see who will take Rangers forward. If you're on the outside, you'll be looking to see what he can bring to it in terms of what's available in January to freshen the squad up, which they'll be needing. And if it's Michael, then great, because I think he's a terrific coach and he understands Rangers, and that's a big pull as well.
Just 2 quick points to finish with, Charlie. Who, if it's not Michael Beale, who would you like to see be the Rangers manager?
It's a difficult. I think that it's written in the stars for Michael Beale to be the manager. Will Steven be back in the discussions as well? Then that would be something that would might pop round. So I don't see anybody apart from Michael Beale being the Rangers manager. The names that will be linked, Hasenhüttl will be linked because he's worked with Ross before. Dyche is the same, but Stuart Robinson is obviously reportedly supposed to be in London speaking to 3 or 4 candidates. So we'll see what comes out of that. But I think that it will be Michael, and it'll be interesting to see what his backroom staff will be made up of. Will he bring back some people that were there before, or will he go with these people that he's been at with QPR if they can get an agreement done?
Yeah, and the last point on this, Charlie, 9 points is a heck of a lot to try and make up with 15 or 16 games now elapsed in the Scottish Premiership. Do you think the manager who does come in, can he close that gap, still win the title, and what will he need from this board to give him a real chance of doing it?
Well, the squad will need freshened up. There's a number of players that are contract in the summer. And he'll need time. Can a new Rangers manager come in and hit the ground running? You have to, you can't go and be 15, 16 points at the end of the season and behind. You have to be, going and closing the gap and have the mindset that we can go and close the gap and change the mentality of this group of players. It's been a difficult season for them in terms of in the Champions League and in the league. They're in a semi-final of the cup, but Rangers need to be challenged for that title, and hopefully, like I say, whoever comes in will be able to close that gap in the next few months. There's plenty of games to go. Celtic are playing well, we know that, but if this right manager comes in and gets the players Morelos, Kent back to form, then we'll see what happens over the closing period of the season.
Yeah, so you don't think the title's over yet?
Well, you can't rule it out. No, you cannot rule it out because 9 points. There is plenty of games to go, and whoever has to come in has to have the mindset that they can turn that round. And it'll be an interesting few days because the lads will be coming back now from the break and ready to go for the next part of the season.
Charlie, great to talk to you. You are aware that you have enough appearances to make the Christmas party. I'm leaving it open. Whether the wife lets you make the journey up, the chair will be there for you.
What? Let me know what date it is.
I will. I'm not telling you on air, but I'll let you know. Fingers crossed we'll see you there. Thanks, Chaz.